As we always do on our preview shows, we ranked all these guys in the preseason here without conference affiliation, no East, no West. We're just doing straight 14 through 1. We're going to break this down for you, why we have all these teams in their places, tell you how each team can do better, and put the best players available for each of these teams and talk about it. Number 2, Florida. No, I'm going to let you start with this Florida team. I know that they brought in a lot. They lost a lot, though, from that team that was in the national championship last year. Tell us a little bit about this Florida ball club.
This is a Kevin O'Sullivan team. They're deep. They don't have a ton of experience, but that experience is Omaha experience, which goes a long way compared to some other freshmen in the country. We're talking about Jack Caglione is back doing things two ways, of course, which I'm sure we'll hear about. And Jeff Passan is going to be really excited to learn more about him this year. Cade Kurland is somebody that I'm really, really excited to watch him take that step as a sophomore. True freshman last year, left high school early, and he was really, really good, especially as time went on. His last at-bat of the year last year was a homer, so he's on a home run streak right now. Really exciting to watch him continue that in his first at-bat. Luke Heyman back as well. Brandon Neely is back, who feels like he's been at Florida forever. Cade Fisher, Ty Evans, Tyler Shelnut are all key pieces of that lineup that are going to, again, not kind of like Wilmsmeyer, not guys that explode in front of your eyes, but guys that are just going to do things the right way. Get on base, get them over, get them in. Robert Satin is going to be a big addition for this Florida pitching staff. He's going to be a freshman coming in there, somebody to keep an eye on. But then you look at Colby Shelton, come over from Alabama, one of those Alabama transfers. Kind of unfair that he gets to go to Florida. I'm sure that that'll be a little bit personal for some people. But this Florida lineup is really, really deep. And the more you dive into it, you kind of have to almost, just like Wake Forest, say, this team, maybe by your hotel.
I mean, I look at this as, Caglione and Shelton, outside of those two guys, it feels like a lot of 270 hitters that are going to hit gap to gap and not give you more than double-digit home runs. But I don't know. When I look at this team, it's just tough for me to break it down. AJ, what are your thoughts on this Florida team? I know that you had them highly ranked as well.
Yeah, I mean, this Florida roster, there's so much talent. It feels like they're almost overflowing with talent that even, like you said, some of the hitters who have hit 270 with not that many home runs. Before last year, that was Josh Rivera too. And then he goes off and has an All-American caliber, pushing for Golden Spikes conversation type season. And then before the year, we were kind of sitting here going, we need Florida to have somebody else step up besides some of the known quantities. And they did. It's the same thing this year. You have Jack Caglione and you have Colby Shelton, two guys who have really proved themselves, and then guys who need to take that next step. They have a ton of guys who have that ability, and that's why I think Noah and I are betting on them to take that next step, is because you're not counting on one guy to take a step. You're counting on one out of a handful of guys to take that leap. And it seems like it happens for them almost every year. Again, if you want to find a fault, it's the lack of experience across the board. But like Noah said, the experience they do have is Omaha experience.
Yeah, another transfer they brought in, Brody Dene, also another guy who had experience from Vautech. Good outfielder. I don't know how much time he's going to get in the outfield or whether he's DHing or what they're going to use him as, but it does give them a little bit more experience. But, yeah, like you said, Rivera decided he was going to just tear the cover off the ball last year and switch his whole swing. Sullivan can do it, right? If there's anybody out there that's going to get this team to be great, he can get this team back to Omaha. It's absolutely Kevin O'Sullivan. Number 2, Florida.